to my voice that knows who we are. This man is not a cop, and he ain't a narc.
No.
He's a dirty scoundrel. He's rotten to the. Oh wait, is that too much?
Here's what I am. I'm like Jesse James that doesn't kill people. That's who I am. Okay, I don't really kill people. But I'm kind of savage. If you fuck with me, I wouldn't cut your throat. I'd shoot you in the leg downward so I wouldn't fuck up much, but I'd fuck up some bones.
Robin Hood, down the guard, but he's just doing his job. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
I'm not, but yet I'm not a cop. I'm just a good man. I was raised up what they call. Everybody says, you go talk to a lot of people. This is what a lot of these people talk today. What kind of person you are? I want to hire somebody that's a farm boy who don't really have a conception of time, but don't mind working his ass off, and he knows he's gonna get fucking paid eventually. He's gonna take over the whole fucking thing if he works his ass off. But if he's a fuck up, he ain't gonna do shit. That's kind of the shit I get from it,
Yeah.
No guarantees, but that's life. If you have basic skills, if you can show up, you can work. If fucks with you, you can. Well, sometimes you gotta fuck somebody up. You know what I mean? Sometimes, shit you gotta do to be a fucking human being and deal with other human beings. If you're one of those people that can lead, then you can do this right here or whatever it is. And me and you both have fought for those things over the years because, we came from, farm towns over there and given an opportunity to do shit and we did. And now we live on properties that we kind of got, we kind of inherited, we kind of bought, we kind of didn't, we kind of did,
But even regardless of the way it is, we're still living that lifestyle we kind of grew up with because
it is.
No, I'm not doing farm stuff like I did when I was a kid. Neither are you.
No.
You ain't working for your uncles doing masonry work in the summers because, I ain't doing all my...
I'm too old for that kind of shit.
Well, but there's the thing is we did that as we're young, but we're still living that life of freedom of I can walk out back and look around and go, I got to pee and take a leak and don't care.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to make any grandmas go, oh my God, that Brad Marble, he just flashed this penis, mostly erect apparently, because I never seen one that large flaccid. And anyway.
Well, you're a shower, probably not a grower, but it's
.com. I'm a shower, not a grower.
But I don't live close enough to anybody to have to worry about it.
No.
I saw Greg.
No.
See, that's what I like enough is I'm not an isolationist, but at the same time, I like being isolated enough to where
I don't want to fuck around with you.
Yeah. Your business is your business. My business is my business.
Well, let me tell you this. Ben and I were riding around the other day. He's like, man, I sure would hate to live over there. And then we were riding by another place, and there was a fence there. And he's like, I'd hate to live there, too. Because, sometimes, even if there's a fence, that don't mean anything. But you need some distance. Not a fence. You need distance to get you away. Because sometimes I want to go out there and I want to talk to myself. And if I'm living in the city, you're going to put me as a Karen.com, and I'm going to be a little bit upset that day. But I'm just fucking chilling, I ain't trying to bother nobody. But now sometimes that ain't really me because I would never really do that. Well, I don't know. I've never been confined to a little bitty small jail cell, like 3,300 square feet is a whole goddamn property. So I would go crazy with that. Yeah, I probably would be I'd be like a tiger walking around. Especially an ADHD motherfucker like me.
Oh, hell yeah. You'd be pacing left and right. But yeah, I mean, you'd be hitting left and right on that kind of stuff. And that's one of the reasons I got into maintenance junk and, that kind of thing is because I could not stand in one spot, But yeah, the movement and going and stuff is exactly, the things that I always wanted to do. I just never could actually get until I finally got, into my maintenance positions, But as far as the country life, as far as, hey, everybody has a skill. Everybody can work. Anybody that says, oh, I don't want to do that. Well, then better yourself. Well, I don't have the opportunity. Then create the opportunity.
Hey, let me tell you a little story right here. I remember times, just because of the fact that I had a truck, and I had other people that I could get. I worked on a tomato farm, and I was the first one there actually. Okay, and I had a truck. So like he said, you bring other people, I give you an easier job. So y'all was wondering how Brad got up there working at the head. I'll tell you. So y'all were like, how did Brad get a job up there making boxes and we out here? He said, well, you bring more people up here and I'll. And of course, it was my gas. You
damn pyramided our ass. You damn. What was that old group? Oh, man. Them cleaning supplies people. People are.
But no, you know, for later on, I worked in staff.
You were slave trading us.
I know it's wrong, isn't it? Is it wrong?
No, it's really not.
No, it's not wrong.
Hey, we still had the best jobs. No, wait.
You did have the best
That's
jobs.
what I'm talking about, is even by doing that, that got us work. And, hey, that's the same thing with the business you're in.
Yeah.
You find other people employment, and if you benefit, well, that is your benefit from it.
Good.
But no. We still had good jobs. I mean, we wasn't the ones picking. All we had to do was load up the buckets on the tractor and ride the trailer and unload it. A little manual labor. So, no. We still had the best jobs.
Hey, the first day I showed up in a truck. And, I went out there and picked. And the dude saw me work. He's like, this motherfucker went out there and picked. I said, hell, I'm from Fountain Hill over there. I've been picking tomatoes forever. And I hear y'all want to pay. I've been doing it for fucking free.
Yeah.
No shit. He said, well, every time you pick up a bucket, you put in your pocket. And I think I was probably drunk or high or something. I didn't put enough rocks in there, even to what he saw me do. He's like, this motherfucker... He what the fuck, he can't count. One, I don't know, maybe he's cute. Let's put him something else. If he make boxes. And he got me up there, he says, well, you got this truck here, you brought this one guy out there, and I still got him out there picking right now, but if you bring some more in here, we can do some other things. And, I'm like, well, hell, I can bring some boys over. Because, back then he was old racist fuck. He said, I want you to bring some white boys over here. Bring some white boys over here.
Now, without offending anybody, again, that was just the way shit was. We did not necessarily agree, disagree. I have no opinion on it, but don't get upset by the story. There, well, it's just a story. It's just a story.
It's the truth.
Yes, it's the truth of then. That's it.
But now later on, he changed his ways, because I knew this guy up until 2014 when he died. This was a long time later, and but I'm just telling you, this was the way it was back in the 80s. That's right. You can't fucking explain it. Like, he said, bring me some boys over, I made some white boys, you know what I'm saying, I'm like, okay. And I had plenty of those that didn't have any fucking money, because we're as poor shit as anybody else,
Yes, we were.
And I'm going to tell you right now, most of my money that I made, I sit down there to, quote unquote, the Blacktown bootlegger. I'd pull up there. Actually, before we went to work every morning, we'd show up about 3 a.m. and pick up about 3 half pints. And he'd be like, oh, y'all going to work? I'm like, hey, we got to have something right working on the damn farm. He said, I understand that shit. He said, But now he hauled pulpwood. But anyway, he would sell us that shit, because nobody slept back in the 80s. That shit was straight party. Probably everybody was doing cocaine. I wasn't, but I was young and I was, whatever. How about you?
Get by on about 3 hours worth of sleep a night. Maybe.
And we made A's and B's in school. There you go.
We still made A's and B's.
So we go out there and we go pick up some liquor from Coop, or whatever his name was. Okay, whatever his name was. And then we would go work. This is 3 o'clock in the morning. We get to work by over there across the river, up mountains and shit to get there. I mean, it was pretty complicated. Specifically when you got 6, 7 people in the back of the truck. We're driving up the hills and shit, and everybody's probably hungover. You get paid daily, that kind of work. A lot of times, so you got money.
It was day working type stuff.
That's right. So you maybe got credit from Coot in the morning. You went back and paid Coot in the evening, and got some more to go.
Got some more for tonight.
That's right.
To get you by until in the mornings, which is why you felt like you did in the morning when you went to work.
That's right.
Hair of the dog.
Hair of the dog. Yeah. So everybody gets their due in this store. Don't be trying to hate. We just had to go to where whatever had everybody. I had the labor. This man had the liquor. This man had the job. We all happy. Okay.
That's right.
And the money was thrown out there by somebody whoever was doing that. Okay. So we had fun doing that. And I got to work up there in the shed. Of course, I'm gonna tell you right now. I thought it was kind of a joke because out there from the field up, it's like, hey, I had like Hispanic people going, "Do you have a sister?" I'm like, "This is the truth." I'm like, "Wow, I mean, I have a sister, but she's not for you." You know, he's like, "You're so." I'm like, "Look, motherfucker, look. You may find me pretty, but I am not a sister. And you get any closer to me, maybe not me, but me and my goons will fuck you up." So he says, "Okay, I'll leave you alone, but just so pretty." I'm like, "Okay." So then I learned to be a rock star because, baby, I am a fucking rock star.
Okay.
But then, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well, no, I guess the thing is
It's my turn with this.
so the dude was turned on by you, but he asked about your sister, and then when you said not a sister, he said, "Well, how about you? Are you available?"
No. It was just one of those things. Like he's like, it's kind of it's not really an insult. Okay.
No. I know what. I mean,
not with these people.
No, because what it boiled down to is you such a pretty man. I bet you got a pretty sister.
No. Well, I mean, it was probably kind of a derogatory and nice at the same time. Here's what it was. I had them an easier job to do if they performed at a certain level. Because even though I was young, I was electric. I had a fucking personality. And I was like, even then, if like I'm going to do something right now, like you see me, I'm fucking stacking shit.
Oh, they were dick sucking before it became dick sucking. They were trying to get it.
Kissing my ass because they never did a better job.
There you go. Yes. See, okay, yes. I totally understand that.
It is because that was my very first working, my very first time being a leader. And I'm gonna tell you this: it's not always easy because sometimes leaders fuck up, and sometimes leaders I don't know. I mean, sometimes they lay on the bed like Rudy Giuliani and they pull their penis out and say, "I tell you right now, young girl, won't you suck on my penis?" And sometimes they do shit like they get drunk and they drive across a log and whatever, and they go, "You going to fucking jail, Mr. Mayor?" And they put him in handcuffs and they slap him on the back of the head because he was confused and he's drunk. Yeah.
That's right. And they did all those things.
Yes.
And all it still boils down to is get up and go to work every day, and you'll find a better place. No, I mean, hey, those times were, those were simpler times, in a lot of ways. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have all landlines. I mean, so all we had was, our general things that we did. We would walk through the woods at night, walk down the highways. We threw orange juice in the road to hear it go pss, pss, pss.
Okay, let me throw this at you right here. Just imagine, right now even, as a big company or a small business person, you're sitting there and you have 33 acres of tomatoes over here and 55 acres of tomatoes over there. You've hired in 16 people legally from South America to come in and help you. And then you realize that they cannot accomplish that because, number one, there's a language barrier. But now language is not always just language. A lot of times it's just like kind of show you what to do, okay? And, of course, it's also sharing. I'm gonna tell you there's a lot of things I learned that year, too. I'm going to tell you this because I had to do shit that a lot of people just didn't understand. Because I kind of became a de facto leader. And I can't even fucking believe this because if you knew me then, Donald could tell you I was a little pothead. I drank whiskey at 3 o'clock in the morning. I drank it at, when I got off work.
And Dr. Tishner's. And when you needed it.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it is. I smoke weed. If I could get weed, boy, I would be fucking great. I'd be like, this is a true medicine right here. But, anyway. So we're out there and we're doing these things and you learn how to communicate with people on a different level. And that's really what it's all about, specifically when you get those beers. I did not choose to be there, okay? I did not want to be there, and I don't even know how I got there. I didn't come from, neither either one. I don't even know, we did not really need to have any kind of leadership positions on tomato farm, did we? We already had tomato farms we lived on.
Yeah.
Really.
No.
Of course, they were shutting down. This guy was still running. We could carry our skills over there and make money. Yeah. That's what we did. Yeah. I did. And you said, like you said, you were just running a bucket show, and you're like me. I'm not I'm not the hardest working motherfucker, but I'm not the laziest motherfucker. I look like I'm working hard because I'm short and skinny and I was trying to hustle down there, something like that. That was my fault.
Well, in this particular case, again, I was able to take advantage of you getting me in. So in those positions, I knew that there was better paying positions up there. This position suited me better. So I had no issue
Yes.
with the fact
Yes.
that, but I still could look at the lower folks, and I hate to say the word lower folks, but the folks out in the field or whatever.
Yeah.
That I don't want. I'm glad I'm not having to do that. Well, now how I got that position, now maybe that was just because of any number of a million things. Maybe I deserved it. Maybe I earned it. Maybe I was asked about it. For wherever you have it, if you find a position you like, going to work is not that bad. So during this time, going to the tomato fields, right? Going to the damn tomato fields at 3 a.m. in the morning, regardless of all the other things we did. It would be paramount to the fact of no, I didn't like it, but out of all the jobs I had, because I had to work, I needed to make money. I was a young adult trying to.
Okay, you say young adult. How old were we then? Be honest.
About that.
14.
14 to 15, somewhere right in that area.
See, I started work at 13 and had a truck. I actually had a part-time vehicle at 13. At 14, I had a full-time truck, and 15, I had a full-time truck. So, really, I was kind of a bus driver.
It was there for a while there. You were pretty much the one that we all, for anything we went and all did.
Until we got about 15 or 16, but now.
And then we had a couple other friends that had trucks and stuff.
God, we had so much fun. I remember so much drinking.
We had that one guy named Gary. I mean, he always had a truck that was fun to ride in. And the one that ends with a P, not the one that ends with a J.
But now Gary didn't work though.
See, there you go.
But he worked at his own farm.
Yeah, but that was the kind of thing.
We partied with him. We rode his truck.
Rode his truck then. That's what I was saying.
Mine's just because I couldn't leave him mine like that. Because I was so young, I couldn't drive out. He was 16 at the time, so he could drive out in public. And so we would ride with him. Of course, he didn't mind because he had that shiny truck, and he always did things with that truck. And I still love that guy to this day. And even after that, he got a big truck, big four-wheel drive. You remember that Ford he got after that?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was two-tone Ford. It was a 1989.
It was nice.
Four-wheel drive, and then he put a lift kit on it. He put some tires on it. This guy liked to show his truck off, and we were always fun to have around. I remember in his truck, we'd be driving through town, and back then you can get in the back of the truck and have the back windows open, and just ride around and holler and. Of course, we did. Next thing you know, we'd have 16 people in there with girls and blankets and shit like that.
Right. CBs were popular then. Everybody put a CB in the truck. Yeah. But
that was fun, though. The CBs, everybody over here, later we're going to Hell Ho or what's a 5 point?
5 point. Yeah, Stallion.
Yeah.
You'd say it and everybody knew, but hey, that was pre-cell phone. That's how you talk to each other in vehicles, and other than running by going, we're all headed to Stallion, as you drove by a parking lot.
Couldn't do they could as undercover cop there. But they could probably hear us on the other thing too, but they probably knew we were there before we got there. But I'm going to tell you though, but even then, I was talking about this the other day, is that, I remember driving through in the early 90s across the United States of America. This is like major highways. Like big, wide-ass, 8-lane things. And they would have shit set up there sometimes, and they would, check people, specifically 4 lanes. Like going across Tennessee, I remember I got stopped a couple of times, and I was sitting there, and, I had a 24-ounce beer there with me. And I was like, oh, shit. I'm like, maybe I'm going to jail. And he's like, how much beer you got in the car? I said, I bought this thing back here, I'm just cruising. He's like, can we check your car and make sure? I'm like, check anything you want to fucking check. Of course, I was lucky I didn't have any other shit with
me. Yeah.
So anyway, they checked my shit. I have no guns. I have nothing. You got your beer, you ride on, brother. So, but now, they told me, I was like, I can have one. I was like, yeah, but don't be carrying it all the time. And, don't be drunk doing it. So it's like one of those things, I got a little talking to, but I got to keep my fucking beer. I was like, man, that's my last dollar. I got to go all the way to Arkansas, come on. In Tennessee, come on. They didn't fuck with you back then like that. Man.
Well, not
now
as much.
They would fucking bend your ass over, shove 24 inches of, fucking asphalt queen, whatever.
Rigid blue jellyfish.
Whatever. Up your anus and into your lungs and esophagus.
I'm going to ask this, and I want to see Is that a dagger stuck into the mud of your pond?
It probably is a dagger. Yeah, I seen that a little bit ago, and I was like,
I mean, it looks so like
and it could be a temperature device taking thing, too, they got out here.
Oh, okay.
Could be that, too.
Oh, okay. Well, now, that may be what it is, because it's got a little, it's stuck up, I'm like, but sitting there staring at it and me like going.
But it's probably a dagger, to be honest.
It's probably a hidden dagger. It's probably from that whore you killed or something.
His body's in his pond. I was like, you want to come search it? You can give me $35.
Well, the way you was threatening
per
to kill
minute.
some motherfucker earlier, I bet there is bodies in this pond.
I bet there is. I guarantee you there is. Now, they may be...
not yours?
No. Well,
any bodies that are found are not yours.
Well, there's a time period. There's a time period.
Before.
Yeah, there's a time period. But no, you're going to find dead bodies here, but there's going to be like, bass, catfish. I don't think we've thrown any other animals in there, but I guarantee you in the fucking echelon that I've been here, there are no human bodies there that I'm aware of anyway, I can assure you. How about you? Unless Donald put them there. He says, this is, that. Now, I'm going to tell you, it would be hard to hide it here because we have some very big fish, and if it was all tied up, I don't give a shit if you tied that motherfucker up every half inch, there would be some kind of shit pop up. And these boys out here, they fishing this thing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you would have to go down there and build a secret chamber below my pond about 10 feet, and you carry all your dead bodies down there with some kind of elevator type system that you invested millions and millions and millions of dollars
Are you
in.
talking about building a murder cave instead of a bat cave? It's now a murder cave.
Up under my pond.
Under your pond, right. Instead
for
of
millions of dollars.
Wayne's house.
Yes,
that's going to be the murder cave under your pond.
Right here, ladies and gentlemen. It's right here. And
whatever we're smoking must be really good.
I'm going to assure you right now, it is absolutely wonderful. And you can agree or not, whether you're there or not, I don't fucking care, but it's absolutely wonderful.
So it's going to be a murder cave instead of a bat cave.
It's a bat cave, that's right. It's right here.
Now, if you've got all the big stuff here, why don't I just use your chainsaw, cut it all up, and just flick it out there and let them eat it?
I'm going to tell you this. We had a guy come up here the other day with some new fish. And it was pretty interesting to see what fish happened here because we threw in some jackfish, some brim, some, if they call sunfish or what they call the little yellow and blue one. Brim. What they call it? They have a name for it. They have many different names. I already named 2 or 3 names. Anyways, that and maybe some bass and some catfish, babies. Late summer babies. So he threw them in here. And we sat there for about 25 minutes just watching what was going on. And probably 50% of them were consumed by the larger fish.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Boom. Because they come from a little bitty puddle down here in the branch. And they had been that little bitty 4-foot wide puddle. And they had never experienced big fish before.
Yeah. And so all they did was just.
And you see, if you look, you talk about murder cases. I mean, if you look at most murder cases, it's mostly small time people that run to the city that they don't really know how to watch around for predators. They hadn't been taught that. They've been taught. My daddy taught me how to shoot a gun, but he didn't tell me why I need to motherfucking use it. He's like, you go down there too to ski, shoot the goddamn thing flying up in the air. But this son bitch attacking me is 12 inches from me, and I don't need a fucking shotgun. I need some fucking skills to disable this motherfucker from attacking me up close.
That's right.
So that's really and that's really what I've tried to teach my kids. Now I want to teach them how to shoot a gun too, but when I think of shooting a gun, I don't think of being, defensive. I think of being offensive.
I mean, I have no problem with, having a gun, and I have one, and, this and that. And depending on, the approach or whatever, if it pulls out, it'll be used.
Yeah.
Or it will be threatened.
Yeah.
And if it gets threatened and then they continue to approach, and it will be used. I mean, it's just that easy.
Okay, let's go to segment 2.